Oh, I put on so much weight.
Hi, hi Tash, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Siddharth?
I'm fine, thanks and yourself. I've actually been like wanting to do this chat piece for a while, and I'm so grateful we finally done it. And I know that you were, really busy, so thanks once again for your time. And my opening question to you is, how did your journey to becoming a motivational writer, I mean, a motivated speaker, writer, and social engineer?
Um, uh, 19 years ago, I
Wow.
lost my husband when I was 29 years old in a car accident. I was pregnant at the time, and I had a little boy who was 2 years old. And, when the reality hit me that I was a widow, I went into a stage of depression and feeling very, very sorry for myself. Um, a while later, I had well, not a while later, I think a few weeks later, I had a miscarriage. And when I was in hospital, um, I said to the doctor, why me? And he said, why not you? And that really impacted me because I remembered going into theater thinking, yeah, I mean, why not me? What makes me so different? It happens to so many people. What makes me so different? So I came out of theater and I was still, why not me? And I said to my mom, I want to speak to one widow who can tell me. All I wanted to know at that stage was that I was going to be okay. I was the first person in my family to lose a spouse. So there was nobody who could really say to me, Tash, this is what you're going to go through. These are the processes. And let me tell you, Siddharth, no one prepares you for becoming a widow. Absolutely nobody. You think that we live in new times and you think that things have changed and progressed, but in terms of our community and mindsets of people, um, I realized that people look at the world and their truth is based on the reality that they've been brought in and the backgrounds that they grew up in. So, their perspective of things is very different based on what they're surrounded by. So I had a lot of people tell me my life was over. I had a lot of people treat me like I was bad luck. I wasn't allowed to go to functions. I wasn't allowed to, if my son and I went somewhere together, it was, oh, she is not worried about her husband. She just lost her husband. But look at her. She's just living her life. So, I mean, even if it was a trip to the supermarket. So there were a lot of stigmas attached and a lot of um, rules and regulations that's hidden by society, really, but it exists. It's really there. So I remember my son, and this is what was the turning point for me. My son, one day, I was sitting down in my room crying, and my son Daniel, he came to me, and he started nagging me to go to go to a shopping mall because he wanted to buy a new mum. And I asked him, why do you need a new mom when you have a mom? And he says, because this mom's broken and I don't want a broken mom. And I didn't know how not to be broken. So I got up from there and I wanted to speak to one widow who would be able to tell me just that everything's going to be all right, just that um, life will be better, that, there are things that I will go through, but I will get through them. And I couldn't find a single widow. I approached many religious organizations. I approached many welfare organizations. They never had a section sorry, I have a lot of dogs if you heard that, but they never had a community, a section that was for widows. Specifically, I did not want to speak to someone who was divorced. I did not want to speak to someone who was separated. I wanted to speak to a widow in particular. And I remember my mom saying to me, you're a journalist and you have so many unique abilities and you know so many people. So why don't you just do it yourself? And it was 3 o'clock in the morning when I started Widowed South Africa. I was fortunate in that because I come from a media background, I got a lot of coverage in newspapers and in the media. I wrote a book called Widow Without. So it gained momentum, and then I was bombarded by widows from South Africa, and then it went became Widowed International because it went around the world. So what we did was I opened support groups in all of the provinces and in various different countries where I had people, widows in particular, head them and just get together and talk about what they're feeling and talk about how to go forward. I think it was at that stage that I learned the 5 stages of grief, that I learned so many things about becoming someone who's suddenly single, someone who thought their life ahead was set. I mean, the thought of losing my husband was something that wasn't even in my thought process at that time. We had just started our married life. So it was a lot of to take in that. And then you also have a lot of people come to you, say to you, who are not going through the situation, who come to you and say to you, do it this way, do it that way, do it, you need to do this, um, in all matters, in legal matters, in social matters, in all kinds of matters. So there's a lot of pressure from every side, and you don't know who to look to or who to listen to. So I was very blessed in that I had then gathered a group of women from around the world who were widows, and we were able to get. I was able to arrange mental health assistance for them, social assistance for them, and we went as far as changing laws so that widows were subject to harsh treatment and harsh laws of society. So it became a life changing experience for me, and I think that was one of the reasons why I started speaking. And
Mhm.
it was in that loss that I found I had a calling to speak, that I was able to stand on stage in front of thousands of people and speak from my heart, not even from preparing anything, just from my heart, and really connecting with people because I understood the pain they were going through. So that was how that journey started. And after that, I lost my brother, who was 20 at the time, in a bike accident. It was, I think, 3 years later. A year later, I lost my father
Oh, sorry.
due to a heart attack.
Mhm.
I've had numerous losses after that. Um, I've been to more funerals than I have been to weddings, actually.
Mhm.
And there was a time where my son Daniel actually believed we owned the cemetery because we
Gosh.
had so many losses. um, so I experienced a lot of losses. I also, I told you that earlier that someone said to me, I experienced trauma of 1,000 people. I've been through a lot of trauma in my life. Um, I've had over 32 surgeries. I've had my
Wow.
spine reconstructed. I've had hip replacements. I've lost half my stomach, my gallbladder, a part of my esophagus, my colon.
Oh,
Um, I've numerous. I've had over 32 surgeries, and in July this year, I had a quad bypass, heart bypass. So I have um, some people call me Spider Man because I've got so many scars on my body that I actually resemble
oh,
Spider Man. But so when it comes to trauma, I think I've also gone through the trauma of being a child of divorce. I am currently going through a very volatile divorce, um, and I've been through very severe mental health as a young 20-year-old, where I was admitted to North Park, which is in Town Hill Hospital. So I have and 3 years ago suffered severe mental breakdown. So um, I've had a lot of trauma in my life, and those things could have destroyed me, and it almost did. But I chose for it. I go back to what my son Daniel always said to me was, my mom is broken and I need a new one. And I try not to be broken for that purpose. So I find ways in which I can become whole again, and I make sure that the version they have of me is not a broken one, but a whole and complete one. And if I'm able to share that with other people and other women and men and children, then yes, I absolutely will. Currently, I got married again after I lost my husband, and after 18 years of marriage, my um, husband left me from one of my close friends. It was a very difficult situation, especially because he requested a paternity test, which I had to see my little girl Isabella going through, which broke her, which totally traumatized her. I've had to see her go through social workers, counselors. Not he has absolutely no contact with her, has not seen her, so um, does not contribute in any way in her life. So I've had to navigate, and my son Daniel also considers him his dad. So I've had to navigate with my kids, taking them through their, with me being suddenly single again, and then going through the challenge of having to navigate my kids through being suddenly fatherless, and the stigma of coming from a broken home. Um, Having a single mom. I remember just a few days ago, my little girl said to me, Isabella said to me, Mommy, when my friends get together and they talk about their daddies, then they all say, shh, 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 Isabella is here, don't talk about her daddy. Don't talk about daddies. And and when she goes to parties or things, she has people say, "Oh, Isabella's daddy is not with her; he left her." So she has a lot of things that she has to endure and experience. My son is going to be 21 in Feb, and he also is at that age where he needs his dad, and I think, and so it's been a difficult transition for them, but I thank God that both of them have been an absolute blessing to me and to everyone. And I would not have been able to do any of this had I not had the support of my mom, of my brother, of my sister, of the close friends I have who really stood by me. I have people think I have a bounty of friends. I don't actually. I can count them on one hand. I keep my circle very, very tight and close. Um, so I'm very thankful because I had people that really, really stood by me through everything and really took my hand. I had to move out of my house. I had to move in with my mom. So there were lots of different changes, lots of different um, aspects of my life that had to change. Um, but I'm very thankful because I believe support is very important, and that is one reason why I make myself available and make sure that I am able to give people the support they need that I got. Because had I not received it, I don't think I would have been able to stand up and still sit with you and have this chat. So it is for me something very important to me.
So just to confirm, your journey has also been the reason why you got into writing and then become a social engineer as well.
Yes, yes. I I find that writing is something that I can, people are not always um, open to talking,
Hmm.
and I find that, and there's only so much you can say to a therapist or to a counselor or to a friend or you know I find that writing is my outlet. It allows me to create um, the happy endings that I wish I had. It allows me to tell the story in a way that
Hmm.
gives it power instead of weakness. It gives it strength. So it's the one of the tools I use, I think, to bring out all of those things in me. You were asking me earlier if
Hmm.
my name is Tash. It's actually Tajia, and nobody actually knows this, but it actually means the enlightened one. But
Wow.
Tajia is a very emotional, weak, sensitive uh, woman who's very insecure, who's very unsure of herself, doubts herself a lot, holds herself at a very high standard, criticizes herself a lot, and and that is the broken one, and we all have, and it took a lot of hard work to turn. Tasha is still there, but it took a lot of work to turn her into Tash, um, a woman who is strong,
Hmm.
empowered. Um, I think I have timeless wisdom because I've
Hmm.
gone through so much. I read a lot.
Uh-huh.
Um, so it's something that was born out of Sajia. Me, I was born out of all the things I didn't want uh, to be. Um, I didn't want to be weak. I didn't want to be
Hmm.
um, broken. I didn't want to be useless. I didn't want to be, there's so many people, they have a migraine and or the tiniest problem and they think it's the biggest problem you can encounter. And I don't want to be that person. I don't dwell on petty things, on trivialities. For me, um, there's certain things, it takes a lot to make me feel sorry for you. So for me, there are certain things that you need to, that's a lot bigger in the world. And I think that deserves more focus than the pettiness. And I try to be kind because I am
Hmm.
kind. I affirm, I use affirmations a lot of the person I want to be and the person I choose to be every single day. And I'm strong and I'm courageous and I'm powerful and I am very kind and I am loving and uh,
Hmm.
I'm full of purpose and that's who I emulate every day and try to be, and hopefully I am.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
All right. There's actually a question for you here in the comments here. Dear Tash, you are strong, beautiful, and successful. How do you balance yourself being a mom and wearing many hats, being a motivational speaker, philanthropy? I admire you. Hats off to you. This is from Jitin Reshika.
oh wow. Thank you, Rishika. How do you balance it? My I don't think there's much to balance actually. My daughter goes to school to actually I'm not sure if we lost signal, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
was
Just briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking to Rishika. I was just saying to her, my daughter's very, very busy at school. She does a lot of extracurricular activities. I'm sure a lot of people know my daughter's just published her third book as well. She's so she only gets back home at around 4 p.m. and my son's at university, so he gets back as well at 4 p.m. Um, so it gives me a lot of time to do the things I love doing. Um, from 4 to 6, I'm unavailable because that's the time I use to cook and to yes, I can actually put a stove on. People think that I don't know how to. I can cook absolutely everything. Um, so I love cooking for the kids. I love making them their favorite things. I love being in the kitchen. So that's the time I use for them. 7 to 8 is our time where we sit and we have supper together and chats together and talk together. I spend a lot of time with my daughter, having long conversations, learning the new, is it Gen Alpha language? Yeah, I think it's Gen Alpha.
I think Gen Z maybe.
No, no, I know I'm Gen X and my son is Gen Z and she's Gen
Oh, okay.
Alpha
Oh,
and
okay.
now there's Gen Beta. Yeah, so I'm learning all of
Wow.
these things, like DMPO and 6-7 and all of these things. So it's very exciting. But no, I do have a lot of time. I do a lot of international work. I'm a global goodwill ambassador, the global peace
Wow.
ambassador. Um, so I do a lot of work around the world that uh, may where I have to sign off on things, get people uh, to acknowledge certain challenges. I a lot of the things I do happens in the time where the kids are actually at school or at university. So I have that time for me, and I hardly sleep. I think you know that stuff. So, or when the kids go to bed, I also have that time where, because of the time differences and the work I do,
Mhm.
it allows me to communicate with people from around the world, during hours of the night. So I'm able to do that as well. So, yeah, I've been I don't. There's no foolproof way to do it. It just
Hmm.
works. It just works. Yeah.
All right. Who are the people that you look up to in the spaces that you're in?
I would say the one person I look up to, who is literally the most amazing, strongest, resilient, courageous woman I've ever met. And I know this sounds like a cliche, but honestly, I think she's gone through so much trauma as well in her life, and she was such a go-getter and actually an internationally recognized businesswoman, and she's my mom. And she's
Wow.
also just her name's Dolly. She's also just had she had a triple heart bypass in April, and I had a quad bypass in June, in July. So but you see her every day working. She's an absolute powerhouse. And I think I'm very blessed because they say we get our intelligence and our resilience and all the good things from our mommies. So I
Hmm.
think I got a lot of it from her. So yes, she's the person I look up to a lot. I have a very, very close friend as well, and he's very wise, and he's really stood by me through a lot, and puts me in my place every day. So I'm very blessed to have him. I have two best friends as well who also the people I look up to are the people that are close to me, and and that's the people I keep in my life. So
Oh,
I also have a dad uh,
mhm.
who's I call him dad. He's been in my life since for the past 25 years. He's Greek, and I'm slowly turning him Indian though, but I think I have. And he's stood by me through everything from my first marriage to from even before I got married, actually, right to now, this day, he's at my side. So I actually call him dad, and I love him to bits. And I'm very blessed. I have very, very, very amazing people around me.
What have been your highlights thus far?
Highlights. In 2019, I think I was supposed to say having my children, eh?
Hmm.
Yes, I have to say that because that's politically correct, right?
Hmm.
Yes, having my children have been highlights. um, in 2019, I was invited to India and I was given the Mother Teresa Award. So
Wow.
that's incredibly was incredibly special to me and something I will treasure for the rest of my life. I also had the opportunity of having the president of the National Olympic Association and the prime minister uh, get handmade um, hockey sticks for my son. They had them specifically, specially made for my son, and a cavalcade of cars came to my hotel and to present them to me, and the prime minister presented it to me, and he spent a few hours speaking to me, and I remember the one thing he said to me was, the time I spent with you was like time spent with God. And for me, that is the most special moment I have ever had. um, I also in 2020 won the Mrs. Commonwealth. um, it wasn't about getting the crown. It was about raising funds for cancer, which is very close to my heart. And I managed to raise hundreds and hundreds of thousands for cancer.
Wow.
So that is one of the highlights of my life. I think that I was thinking about it the other day, and I remember at the end of the night, my feet were actually bleeding. And I was so tired. I don't think I ever felt that exhaustion, but also exhilaration and being able to achieve something that meant something so much to me. Um, Highlights in my life. Um, you know what? I think I find a highlight in my life every day. Highlights in my life is seeing my kids achieve, is seeing um, my mom smile. At the moment, my granny is here, and
Hmm.
she's in her 80s, and it's for me the biggest blessing in the world. A highlight for me was making naan bread and butter chicken for her yesterday because it was the first time she ever ate that.
Wow.
So I find highlights in every single day. There's a highlight in every single day for me, and I think that keeps me grounded, and that is what gratitude is about. It's about being thankful for those small moments that we have um, in every day.
What about the lowlights, if any?
Too many. You're gonna have to use the whole day for me to tell you low lights.
You can tell me the
Low
main ones
lights.
then. You can tell me the main ones
Um,
then.
low lights for me have people who may think that my husband leaving me is a low light. It was, oh, that's a highlight. That's a
Okay.
highlight. You see, we found another highlight. Low lights for me was losing my brother, that that really destroyed a part of me. Losing my father, um, losing a parent is a different kind of loss. It's not something um, that can be explained to anybody. It's a very very difficult loss. Uh, a low light is honestly a low light for me is looking at myself in the mirror and seeing the
Mhm.
number of scars I have and wondering and it being a reminder of all the pain I've had to endure. But then I turn it around and I think I survived it, you know. But yes, it's a low light. A low light is getting old and going through a ton of pain. Um, I can't think that anything was losing my brother was definitely a low light. Losing my father was definitely a low light. Every time I found out I needed major surgery was definitely a low light. But I think in every low light I had, I managed to turn it into a highlight. So aside from losing my brother and losing my father, I can't. Every other thing that was a low light in my life, I turned into a highlight.
Mm.
So yeah. Um, so there are very few low lights, aside from I think the two that stuck with me was losing my daddy and losing my brother. Yeah.
Cool. So what are your plans for the rest of this year and beyond?
So I have rebranded Tash Reddy. I used to be, uh, I have rebranded her into somebody very professional, very powerful. And like I said to you, I'm having workshops. I've designed courses online. If you go to my website, tashreddyofficial.com, there are courses available online that you can take in order to overcome challenges. There are also ways you can connect with me because I am a qualified NLP life coach. There's and psychologist. So there's a way that you can contact me for a session if you'd like to. There's also um, uh, an opportunity for me to speak at events. I will also be doing daily videos, motivational videos, sending out motivational not memes, posts every day on all social media. Um, so I plan on really impacting the world. That's my plans. I plan to really impact the world and show them a perspective of power instead of one of weakness and show them how to there's something that I'm learning and sometimes we think we know it all. In the past 2 years I've had to sit just the other day I think I told you I was sitting in court and um, I was sitting with so many women there and listening to their stories and I thought that I was an intelligent girl and I thought that I knew quite a lot. And it's funny, just this journey um, of divorce and maintenance and custody and relinquishment and paternity and were things that were so new to me and things that I needed to learn. And those are things I want to impart on people, the lessons I continue to learn every day in my life, the lessons that's literally brought to me. You know, Dana Reed, Christopher Reed's wife, said, some choices in life choose you. How you respond to them defines the context of your life. And for me, I feel like that's so true because a lot of the things in my life has chosen me. I didn't go out looking for it, it's chosen me. But in all of the things that have happened to me, I've had opportunities to learn from it. Number one, I've learned from it. um, aside from experience, going through the experience of it, I have learned from it, and I've um, gotten a wealth of knowledge that I can impart to other people because of it. Um, and I've and because I experienced it, there's a level of compassion and empathy that I have that doesn't make it just when I speak to someone, I'm not just saying something that I read in a book. It's something I've actually experienced. You know, it's so funny. My daughter, my mom scolded me the other day because one of the things my daughter loves watching is paternity court.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if people know about this. It's on YouTube. It's called paternity court, but it's people that come in and basically deny paternity. And she loves watching it. And my mom gets angry and says, "Don't let her watch those things." But my daughter introduced me to paternity court. So I asked her, "Isabella, why do you like watching paternity court?" And she says, "Mom, because I went through it. Uh, I had to give my blood, and uh, I had to do the same thing these children are doing." But she says, what I love seeing is how the fathers react when they told they the father, and she watches
Mhm.
this program just to see the reactions, and it gives her a kind of strength. In her own way, it's her coping mechanism in that it didn't just happen to her. There's these hundreds of children around the world who are going through the same things. It didn't just happen to her, that a lot of men around the world do that. So, in the same way, for me, I always look at it as there's a thousands of people going through it. I know I recently had a quad bypass, like I told you, and as soon as I tell people I had a quad bypass, it's they treat me like I already died. Um, Thousands of people have it. It's something that's normal now. So and it's something that I can now, if someone is afraid of going for one, can tell them about it because I I know about it. I know all there is to know about it. So in every experience of my life, it's become a tool where I can use it to help somebody else, comfort someone else, make them more aware of what to expect. And I think what everybody wants to know really is that, am I going to be okay? And yes, you are going to be okay. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better,
Mhm.
but in the end, it does get better. Every storm runs out of rain. So it'll get better and the sun will start shining again. You just have to make sure you don't put your candle out and your light out and keep it burning. And in every trial, there's an opportunity for greatness. In everything, there's an opportunity. And also never forget God in all things and everything. Um, Whether you believe uh, in whatever religion you follow, I believe God is one. I celebrate all. I celebrate Diwali, Eid, Christmas. Um, God is one, and keep God at the center of your life in all things and everything. Um, because God really gets you through that having that. Some people call it an idea that's not realistic. The scientific people. But even having that idea is fine because it gives you something to hold on to.
Um,
So, um, yeah,
okay. Finally, what are your words of inspiration for people that are interested in the spaces that you're in?
my words of inspiration is never give up,
Hmm.
never stop being kind, never push yourself onto people who don't want you
Hmm.
in their space. I learned that recently. If someone does not like you, if someone does not appreciate you, someone does not see you for who you are, the light inside you, the goodness inside you, someone does not see the pain inside you and how you are trying to survive it. Um, there's a thing that says be the bigger person. You don't have to.
Mm.
You need to be the bigger person for you. Don't push yourself into spaces that don't want you. Don't push yourself into people who don't want you. Um, you want you. Make yourself important to you. Be the bigger person for you. Survive for you. Everyone else, your children included, will react and respond to life the way you react and respond to it. If you're going to react and respond in brokenness, that's exactly how the world will respond to you. But when you react and respond in power and purpose and dignity, that's exactly what you will get back. My kids, I can say, are the two most amazing, strong, kind individuals because it's the response and reactions they are surrounded by. To surround yourself and make yourself the warrior that you were created to be. We all have it inside us, all of us. I'm no different from anyone else. Like I told you earlier, I have a side that's very weak, very emotional, very sensitive. We all have that. It's normal. But don't dwell there. Get up from there and be the person you need. Be the person you wish was there for you. Be the person you need. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. There's light. I am also very blessed that and this is an exclusive I'm giving you, Siddharth. I'm very blessed that I also met somebody and uh, who showers me with love. And for the first time in my life, I've been shown how um, a woman is supposed to be loved. So I'm very blessed. And so, see, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Um, there's always a happily ever after. And I absolutely thank God for him. I absolutely adore him. And
Mhm.
I'm so blessed that he's come to the kids and I and you know um, in everything there's just there's a blessing. There's so many blessings. We just have to leave ourselves open to it, and it'll come. And I'm living proof of it. So every time you think life is over, and there's just something I have to talk about Siddharth quickly. 3 years ago, in October 2023, my son was in matric, and my husband had just left, and I had taken over 500 tablets and hanged myself. And this is the person that's supposed to be strong and supposed to be um, a beacon of light for other people. I went into a space of absolute darkness and absolute hopelessness. And thankfully, I was found in time, and I spent months in ICU, and I also spent a lot of time in a psychiatric hospital. And I have to say, don't take mental health lightly. Um, it is a very important factor, and it is very important, very important. Do you know the Disney rule?
Disney?
When you hug someone, do you
Huh?
know the Disney rule, Siddharth? Do you know the Disney
No.
rule? The
No.
Disney rule is that when you hug a child, don't
Mhm.
stop hugging them until they stop hugging you. And in life,
Okay.
that's how you treat. Yes, in life, someone just needs that hug, and don't stop hugging them until they stop hugging you. Someone
Okay.
needs the validation. Someone
Hmm.
needs to know that they are special and they are worth it. Recognize that all of us, all of us need to every day feel that we are worth something, um, that we have value, that we have purpose, that we are appreciated, that we are loved. And and I think that is the most important thing we can do as humans and for humanity is go forward and love. Just love, be kind, be the light that you want for yourself, and never give up on yourself.
All right.
Yeah.
So, well, that's a very beautiful ending. Before I let you go, there's another comment here, which is from Ashika Morris 117. Love you, cuz. Miss you. Truly a gem. God bless you eternally.
Oh, thank you, Ashika. Ashika, I have not seen this cousin of mine in years, so thank you, Siddharth. In years, in years, in years. Thank you. Love you too, cuz. Hope to see you soon. God bless you and your family as well. Oh, that
All
that
right.
was special. See, that's a highlight and a blessing. I haven't heard from my cousin in so long. Yeah, Siddharth, I just
Yeah,
want to
I aim to
really
please.
thank you.
Sure. Yeah, you're most welcome, and I hope this is the first of many.
I hope so too.
All right. You take care.
You take care, Siddharth, and